Ladies and gentlemen, let's get one thing straight from the start. You were not born to chase love. You were born to embody it. You were not placed on this earth to beg for someone's attention, to prove your worth, or to dim your light just so someone else can feel comfortable. You were born to stand tall, to be whole, and to walk in your truth, even when that truth makes others uncomfortable. Too many of us have been conditioned to believe that love is something we must earn, that we're only worthy when someone else confirms it, that being chosen by another person somehow makes us complete. But let me tell you something that might just shift your entire reality. You are already complete. You are already enough. You do not need to be picked, approved, or validated to walk in your power. Somewhere along the way, society taught us that our value is tied to someone else's ability to love us, that if we're single, we're lacking, that if we're not being pursued, we're not desirable, that if someone doesn't want us, something must be wrong with us. And that lie has broken too many hearts and stolen too many identities. This message today, it's not just motivation, it's a wake-up call. A call to stop searching for yourself in someone else. A call to stop giving away your peace for the sake of being loved. A call to stop settling for almosts, maybes, and one-day love stories that leave you more confused than cherished. This is your reminder that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And if you don't honor it, no one else will. If you don't protect it, people will exploit it. And if you don't nurture it, you will continue to seek in others what can only be found within. You see, there is a difference between being loved and being needed. There's a difference between being seen and being used. And when you're starving for connection, it's easy to mistake attention for affection and validation for value. But today we rewrite that narrative. Today we flip the script. This is not about bitterness. It's not about hating love or pushing people away. It's about loving yourself so deeply, so fiercely, and so fully that you no longer settle for anything that asks you to abandon yourself in the process. So, if you've ever begged for love, if you've ever felt invisible in a room full of people, if you've ever lost yourself trying to be what someone else wanted, this message is for you. Because it's time to stop chasing and start becoming. To stop shrinking and start expanding. To stop waiting and start owning your worth. Now let's begin this journey, where love doesn't come from the outside in, but from the inside out. Let's talk about the power of becoming the love you truly deserve. The trap of chasing love. Too many people are out here chasing love like it's the answer to all their problems. They run after it, cry over it, and lose themselves trying to hold on to it. And in the process, they forget the most important kind of love, the love they were supposed to give themselves. You beg for attention. You wait for calls that never come. You stare at your phone, hoping for a message that validates your worth. You go out of your way to impress someone who barely notices the effort. And you call that love? That's not love, that's desperation in disguise. That's fear of being alone, masked disconnection. You keep telling yourself, if I can just be more beautiful, more understanding, more available, maybe then they'll love me. Maybe then they'll stay. But the truth is, love that asks you to shrink, bend, and twist just to be tolerated isn't love. It's control. It's a cycle that leaves you feeling drained, insecure, and invisible. Real love doesn't require you to lose yourself. It doesn't ask you to beg. It doesn't make you question your value. But when you chase love, you put yourself in a constant state of emotional debt, always owing, always giving, always proving. And guess what? It's never enough. Because love that must be chased was never meant for you in the first place. Let me ask you something real. When did you stop looking in the mirror and seeing your own worth? When did their opinion start mattering more than your peace? When did being chosen by them become more important than being whole on your own? You see, the moment you start chasing love, you give away your power. You place your happiness in someone else's hands and pray they don't drop it. You start living for their approval, their attention, their love, while ignoring the one person you're supposed to show up for every day, yourself. Here's the harsh truth. Not everyone you want is meant to be in your life. Not every connection is divine. Not every spark is worth a flame. You are not here to be half loved, partially seen, or temporarily wanted. You are here to be honored. You are here to be respected. You are here to be valued, first by yourself, then by anyone who wants to stand beside you. You don't have to chase love. You have to become love. Love for your own soul, love for your growth, love for your peace. When you start valuing yourself, the need to chase disappears. You stop begging for a seat at someone else's table because you've built your own. So stand up, wipe your tears, look in the mirror, and remind yourself you are not hard to love. You just forgot to love yourself first, reclaiming your power and rebuilding self-worth. When you stop chasing love, something powerful starts to happen. You begin reclaiming the pieces of yourself that you gave away. All that energy you once poured into someone who barely reciprocated, you start pouring it back into you, into your goals, into your healing, into your peace. And that's not selfish. That's self-respect. You see, love is not about losing yourself in someone else. It's not about twisting into a version of you they find acceptable. Real love, healthy love, starts with wholeness. It starts with two people who know who they are, what they want, and what they deserve. But if you don't know your worth, you'll settle for anything. You'll accept the bare minimum and call it trying. You will confuse intensity with love and inconsistency with mystery. But let's be clear, if they love you today and ignore you tomorrow, that's not deep, that's disrespect. So stop allowing people to treat you like an option. Stop overextending yourself for people who wouldn't even meet you halfway. You are not desperate, you are divine. You are not needy, you are nurturing. And the moment you start treating yourself like you matter, the world begins to respond. Let's talk real for a second. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you don't respect your boundaries, they won't either. If you don't value your time, they'll waste it. If you don't know your worth, they'll price you at their convenience. But when you start pouring into yourself, everything shifts. You stop accepting crumbs because you know you deserve the whole feast. You stop running after people because you've realized your presence is the gift. And you stop proving your value because your existence is already proof enough. There is something magnetic about a person who knows their worth. They don't chase, they attract. They don't beg, they receive. They don't settle. They wait patiently, purposefully, powerfully for what aligns with their soul. And here's the truth. You don't need someone to complete you. You will never have to begin with. You are whole right now, even in your healing, even in your quiet moments. Even when the world doesn't see it yet, you are already enough. So stop giving people access to you just because you're lonely. Stop calling people back just because you're scared of being alone. You don't need closure, you need clarity. You don't need their love, you need your own. Value yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Your peace, your purpose, your future, they all depend on how deeply you choose to honor yourself right now. This is your moment to take your power back, to rebuild your confidence, and to remind the world that you are not here to chase love. You are here to be love unapologetically and without permission, becoming the love you deserve. There comes a moment when you realize everything you were searching for in someone else was already within you. You don't need someone to save you. You need to see yourself. You need to stop asking, why don't they love me? And start asking, why don't I love me the way I should? Because here's the truth. The love you've been chasing is not about the person. It's about the feeling. That feeling of being seen, of being wanted, of being enough. But if you keep chasing people to get that feeling, you will always be at the mercy of their opinion. And that's no way to live. So what do you do instead? You become the love you've been begging for. You become your own safe space. You become your own cheerleader, your own comfort, your own biggest supporter. You start showing up for yourself the way you wished they would. You take yourself out. You protect your energy. You heal your wounds without expecting someone else to patch them up. You learn how to sit with yourself in silence and still feel whole. You learn to wake up in the morning and not immediately look for validation, but instead ask, how can I show up for myself today? This is about closing your heart. It's about strengthening it. It's about not handing over your power just because someone makes you feel butterflies. It's about knowing that love is not just about chemistry. It's about consistency, respect, and emotional maturity. The world will try to convince you that you're incomplete until you're in a relationship. But don't fall for that lie. You are not half a person. You are not on standby, waiting to be chosen. You are already chosen by life, by God, by the very breath in your lungs. And when you start living from that truth, you stop tolerating almost loves, half loves, and toxic loves. You stop chasing. You start attracting. You attract people who respect your boundaries. You attract connections that feel peaceful, not chaotic. You attract love that doesn't ask you to shrink, but encourages you to expand. But it all starts with you. Your healing, your self-worth, your ability to look in the mirror and say, I don't need to be chosen to be valuable. I already am. So today, stop chasing love like it's the answer. Start becoming love like it's your calling. Because the most powerful version of you isn't the one who finally gets the love they've been craving. It's the one who realizes they never needed to chase it to begin with. You are worthy of real love. But before it comes from someone else, let it come from you. Unshakable, unconditional, unapologetic. Love yourself, choose yourself, and let everything else fall into place. By now you've heard the truth, the kind that doesn't whisper but roars. And here it is once more. You were never meant to chase love. You were born to radiate it. The entire message you've walked through in this video is not just about stepping away from the need to be chosen. It's about remembering that you already are. You are not here to be someone's afterthought. You are not here to convince anyone of your value. You are not here to twist and shrink yourself to fit into the small spaces others offer you. You are here to own your space, to own your energy, and to love yourself so completely that you become a magnet for everything aligned with your higher self. The most powerful shift happens the moment you stop asking, am I enough for them? And start asking, are they enough for me? Because the truth is, you are not a question. You are the answer. The clarity, the standard, the peace, the love you've been waiting for. This isn't about rejecting love from others. No, it's about redefining love entirely by starting with the foundation, you. Because when you know your worth, your energy changes. You no longer seek attention, you seek alignment. You no longer settle for potential, you wait for presence. And most importantly, you no longer beg to be loved. You live. And let's be real, when you embody that kind of wholeness, the game changes. You begin to attract people who see you not as an option, but as a blessing. You attract energy that nurtures, not drains. You attract situations that grow you, not ones that force you to keep proving your worth. But all of that begins the moment you choose yourself. So let this be your declaration. No more chasing, no more shrinking, no more begging. From this moment forward, you are walking in the fullness of who you are. You are letting go of every toxic narrative that told you love must be earned, fought for, or chased down. You are releasing the guilt, the shame, and the fear that came from believing you were not enough. Because you are enough. Even when they walked away, even when they didn't see your value, even when you felt invisible, you were still enough. Now you rise. You heal. You love yourself with a power so bold that the world can't help but respond differently. So the next time you're tempted to chase, remember this. You don't chase what you are, you become it. Let your energy speak before you do. Let your peace be louder than your pain. Let your self-worth be non-negotiable. Because the most beautiful, magnetic, unstoppable version of you is the one who loves themselves without apology. This is your era of becoming. No more waiting. Start now. And with this truth, you're not seeking love, you are love. Walk in it, own it, and let the world rise to meet the version of you who finally remembered their power.